What's going on, guys? Welcome to your stimulus negotiation update for late Monday, September 21st. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend and an incredible Monday morning. Now, today I want to explain what has happened earlier today that now has a second stimulus check in jeopardy, has federal unemployment extensions at a standstill, and has Congress fighting over something that never should have been an issue. Today, we saw the Senate back in session, which was really good. And it was tough to watch. Yes, I did watch it. I watched about 30 minutes of the Senate back in session. And what I can tell you is I saw Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer throw shade at one another and their parties. This morning, Nancy Pelosi released her funding bill, her government funding bill, the stopgap bill, that many people are hoping gets passed before the October 1st deadline. Now, this was a good thing that it was released because it was missing two major pieces of legislation that were originally agreed upon on Friday. So, just give you an idea, yes, there's been 3 days between Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday. And what was originally agreed upon was a verbal agreement, was backtracked and changed. Congress is resorting to their fighting ways again. Originally, Nancy Pelosi and Republicans agreed on $30 billion for farm aid and $2 billion for food assistance. Now, neither one of those things are included in the stopgap bill. And Republicans, they were not the ones that brought in the $2 billion for food assistance. That was Democrats. They're the ones that mentioned it. However, now they are backtracking and they're taking out the $30 billion for the farm aid because Nancy Pelosi says that this is going to be better off in a separate stimulus negotiation, as she believes that this $30 billion for farm aid is just being used as money to entice voters from farming cities. So we will see what happens there, but that is the update as of right now. So this is just another time that when Republicans and Democrats agreed on something and that was later taken back because they did not put pen to paper. It was just a verbal agreement. Now, this is ultimately going to hurt the American people again. Another thing that happened today was the Senate arguing about when is the right time to nominate a new Supreme Court justice. You may have heard, I mentioned this a couple times over the last few days, that on Friday, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg ended up passing away from pancreatic cancer. So now it is their duty to fill that seat, and they are trying to determine when is the best time. Is it now, before the election, or should they wait until after, when we may or may not have a new president? So that's the issue right now. In 2016, Mitch McConnell told Congress and then President Obama that 250 some days before the election was too close to the election to nominate a new Supreme Court justice. And so President Obama agreed, and the new justice wasn't nominated until President Trump was inaugurated. That is a big deal because now Mitch McConnell is going back and changing the rule. Now that Republicans hold the presidency and have the majority of the Senate, McConnell would like to uphold the legal rights of the president and allow him to nominate the next Supreme Court justice. What you need to understand, President Trump has already nominated 2. This will be his 3rd. There's only a total of 9 justices, and they're appointed for life. It is because of this that Democrats and Nancy Pelosi specifically are going to make any deal very hard to pass unless Republicans back off of this potential nomination. And right now we will see what happens. However, it's not looking like that Republicans are willing to do so. But let me know what your thoughts are. I want to know what you think. Do you agree that by the letter of the law, President Trump should be allowed to nominate a new Supreme Court justice? Or do you believe he should wait until we have an answer as to who will be our next president? Will it be President Trump? Will he get reelected? Or will it be Joe Biden? Let me know your answers down in the comment section below. Now, with this stopgap bill not looking likely, this week at least, I want to explain something that was in it. Medicare Part B could potentially cost more for senior citizens. According to multiple reports, the stopgap bill it was supposed to include a piece of legislation that would protect Medicare beneficiaries from the expected increase of Part B premiums. This increase will go from $4 per month to up over $50 per month. For many senior citizens, they do not have an additional $50 per month. They are pretty much living month to month. Now, without this stopgap bill passed, this could mean that senior citizens could be faced with a very tough start to 2021. Again, this stopgap bill is expected to pass at some point, but I just want to point out, so was the stimulus package that was passed back in May. This was supposed to pass. It didn't. We're still fighting for it, and we will see what happens. Now, I don't want to scare anybody that is on Medicare Part B or a Part B beneficiary, but I do want you to be well aware of what you can expect as we move forward into these different negotiations. Now, here's the best case scenario moving forward, and this is not my answer. This is based off what many experts predict. Whether they are Democrat or they're a Republican, this is what they say. Right now, President Trump says he will select a nominee Friday or Saturday of this week, and he will do that following Ruth Bader Ginsburg's funeral. So we will have an answer Friday or Saturday if President Trump does decide to select the next Supreme Court justice. Mitch McConnell says Trump's nominee will receive a vote on the floor soon after, which could potentially be next week. Multiple reports indicate that no Democrats, as of right now, will agree to this. They will not vote yes, and that many Republicans are against a vote altogether, especially this close to an election. If you remember what I said earlier this morning and yesterday, Republicans, if they vote on this, will need 51 votes to pass. They just need the simple majority. However, if it's 50 to 50, then the tie actually goes to Vice President Mike Pence. So, we will see what happens. However, there are many reports that are saying that Republicans, as of right now, do not have the votes to get this passed. If the yes votes are under 49, then the selection would not happen. Again, this is pretty much what people are saying, that this would be the best case scenario. That yes, President Trump nominates somebody, it takes it to a vote, but they do not receive any more than 49 votes. Because if this happens, this would most likely move the focus from a new justice to the real problem at hand, which is the American people and the voters, getting them the aid that they need to survive the next couple of months. Now, on the flip side, many experts predict if this happens, Republicans could be upset by this and not agree to pass any form of stimulus moving forward. Now, that is obviously a complete turnaround from where we are at right now, where Republicans are mostly in agreement that yes, some stimulus is needed. Right now, the second stimulus check, unemployment extension, PPP funding, rental assistance, school funding, and so much more is hanging in the balance. Initially, it was tough enough to get a stimulus package passed or at least agreed upon. That was before we had a continuing resolution to prevent the government from shutting down. That was before we had a tough election coming up within, we're 43 days away. And then we also, on top of all that, we're trying to select a new Supreme Court justice. There's a lot of issues at hand right now. And the problem is Congress is not equipped to handle all those at one time. They should be, but they're not. Mitch McConnell is already warning fellow Republicans to be prepared for dirty tricks from the Democrats. And all the while, Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are holding out for a bigger stimulus agreement. She wants more than $1.5 trillion that was put forth by the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal. She does not think that's good enough and thinks they can do better. Not only that, but Wall Street took a tumble today, a pretty good sized tumble, and it is because many people are worried about Europe locking down again and that becoming a very real possibility. Some places in Europe currently are already being closed, are already being locked down, but many more are expected to come very soon. The CDC says that a second wave of infections is a very real problem, and the American people need to be aware of consequences of not getting this virus contained quick enough and having a vaccine readily available to the public. On top of all that, California stated a couple days ago they are shutting down any new unemployment claims for the next 2 weeks, stating they are going to do an upgrade to their entire system to prevent fraud and also to speed up the system moving forward, which is great. However, they chose a horrible time to do this. This means that any new claims in the state of California that are taken or that would be needed to take over the next couple of weeks will have to be put on hold so that the system can be reworked. Again, like I said, the stuff that's going on today is going to affect us moving into this week and into next week as well. There's a lot of stuff that Congress has to deal with. The problem is they do not want to work together. Nancy Pelosi will not work or speak with President Trump. Nancy Pelosi does not want to negotiate with Mark Meadows. Nancy Pelosi will only listen to Steve Mnuchin. However, Steve Mnuchin cannot get calls through to Nancy Pelosi's office because she's busy. So, we will see what happens, but like I said, as new updates become available, I will bring those to you. Make sure you subscribe so that you can watch some of my other videos. Like I said, I promised you last week, I'm going to bring you more videos on how you can make money from home, how you can become more financially stable, and I'm obviously going to give you the stimulus update. So go ahead, make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you want to stay updated so I can save you some time, and I'll see you guys on the next one.